Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Series 14 of the Dragon Star series from Bandai. This features Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Krillin, and Super Saiyan Gohan. Right off the bat, I think it's funny that they all still say Dragon Ball Super on the top, even though this line really hasn't had any Dragon Ball Super characters in a long time. I mean, I guess technically Krillin's in there, but these guys are really all from Dragon Ball Z. I don't know why. I mean, Dragon Star series is ambiguous enough of a name that it can be kind of an anthology series, and it would be kind of neat if they would actually put the series that this character or this iteration of the character is from at the top instead of just putting Super for everything. It's not a big deal, just would be neat. But this is a pretty solid wave. I have to say, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta looks pretty good. Who doesn't love Krillin? And honestly, this is my favorite iteration of Gohan. I absolutely love him with this Super Saiyan hair and the Piccolo costume. It's just my absolute favorite version of Gohan from any of the series. So, very excited to finally get figures for these three. Taking a look on the back, you can see Series 13 as well. I don't think I have any of these. It's kind of weird. Like, I used to buy this series religiously, just always getting everything. And then it got to the point where they're really starting to double up on characters and, you know, Super Saiyan Goku. But this is like, I think, Super Saiyan 2 Goku, and I already have Super Saiyan 1 and 3. And it didn't really make sense to get 2 because 2 and 1 don't really look that different. I had already bought, I think, Piccolo without the cape, and then they did Piccolo with the cape. And I'm like, why is it 2 separate figures? It should just be one where he can take the cape on or off. But whatever. Do want to eventually pick up Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta at some point. But yeah, I got really behind on this series at some point and, you know, just kind of got away from it. But they don't have Build-A-Figure components anymore, so I don't feel guilty about just picking and choosing, you know, which ones I really want. I just happen to actually want all of the ones from this series, so that's why I'm doing them as a set. I mean, depending on how you guys like this video, maybe I'll get back into these and do some more going forward. But I'll probably just kind of be throwing up reviews every once in a while, depending on which ones I decide to pick up. But packaging really hasn't changed the whole time. Pretty good packaging, though. You got some nice artwork here on the side. We'll take a look at all three of these. Yeah, Gohan's is probably the most exciting. These guys are just kind of standing around. Nothing on this side because the window just kind of extends around to the side. And then you have this kind of standard dark gray packaging with the, I don't know, embossed text. So you can, in certain light, it almost blends completely in, which is kind of funny. And then, of course, the back just has the breakdown of the different waves and such. So, not too much going on with the packaging, but it works. I think it does its job. Going to go ahead, get all three of these guys out of the boxes, and we'll take a closer look. So here they are out of the packaging. As you can see, every figure comes packed with their closed fist set of hands. But then also in the box, you get a open-handed set of hands. I guess just for doing different kinds of poses or trying to, you know, do beam attacks. So they don't come with any, like, effect pieces or anything like that. So you can't actually, like, simulate the beam attacks. But you can have them, I guess, do the correct hand poses for them. Would be nice if they did something. I mean, I know Hasbro does, like, effect pieces for Power Rangers and stuff. And I don't usually care about it. But I feel like if you were ever going to do effect pieces for a line, I feel like Dragon Ball Z would be the property to do it for because they have so many energy-based attacks and things like that. So, I don't know. In any case, let's move on. So we have a look at Krillin here right in the front. I think the head sculpt looks pretty good. For once, they didn't actually color his eyes white. A lot of figures do that. And in the show, he does not have white eyes. They're just his normal skin color. I don't know why that is, but that's how he was drawn. He's got the dots on his head for being a monk. Very nice attention to detail there. Yeah, otherwise, pretty good. Got the turtle symbol there on his back and on the front. Articulation's pretty good, so he has a hinge here at the base of the skull. And he can also swivel. And then he's also got movement at the base of the neck as well. It doesn't really seem like it's a lot, though. It just kind of, I don't know if it's even meant to move or if it's just because that's how it's assembled. But most of the articulation is actually at the base of the skull. He does have a hinge in the shoulder, and then the piece that is connected into the torso is actually a ball joint. So you have a kind of limited amount of movement there where the arm is connected into the torso, and then you have the hinge in the actual shoulder itself, and of course you can swivel around. So you have a bicep swivel there, double jointed elbows, which work pretty well. And then he's got those figure art-esque joints here in the wrist, so you have kind of a hinge and then a rotation as well. And the hands are very easy to pop on and off. Very, very simple there. You have waist movement. You have a ball joint in the hip, and then you have this kind of like system where you can kind of pull this down to get like high kicks and things like that. But then you can also kind of pop it back up. And then he's got the knee joints. Now, they try to make these big baggy pants work by the way they do the knees and kind of sink them back a little bit. And I feel like it's more successful with the other two. But for whatever reason with Krillin, his don't close all the way. You see what I'm saying? They kind of leave that space in there. And I'm not really sure why that is. But he's also got the same kind of joint in the ankles as he does in the wrist. So he's got the hinge and then the ball joint to move the feet around. And his shoes are pretty well detailed there. So yeah, all in all, he's a good figure. Like I said, kind of wish he had some kind of like Destructo disc or something to go with him. Even if they just gave him a more open set of hands so he could do the solar flare. Something like that. I don't know. Just make these figures a little bit more personal, because it really just feels like, you know, here's the character with closed fists, and then you get an open set of hands as well, and that's it. It would be nice if they had actually, like, personalized accessories, but that's kind of getting more into, I guess, like, figure arts territory, which Bandai is also kind of doing. Well, I guess it's not technically Bandai, it's Bluefin, but they're all kind of part of the same conglomerate, so. In any case, it's a decent little figure. I just kind of wish he had more personalized accessories, but I think he looks good. I think the articulation's good. The knees are a little wonky, but, you know, certainly not a deal breaker by any means. So that is Krillin. Next, we will move on to Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. He looks really, really good. I think they crushed it on the head sculpt here. That hair is just fantastically well done. Now, you can kind of see here that this back piece is on kind of its own ball joint. It's very strange how they did it. But you can kind of see how that is... it's like connected as a separate piece. You can kind of see the barbell joint in there. I think that was so that you could actually move the head around, because otherwise this hair would get in the way. So they wanted you to be able to kind of move it around a little bit. It's okay. I mean, if you look at it too, like if you just look at it quick, you don't really notice it. But if you kind of look into it, it almost, like you can see that it's a separate piece, and that takes away a little bit from it. But for the most part, I think it's pretty good. I mean, you're just not going to get a ton of head movement with this guy. You can look a little bit side to side and a little bit up and down, but that's pretty much it. But again, head sculpt looks good. I think they did a great job with the hair. Vest looks really cool. And then he's pretty much got all the same articulation as Krillin as far as the hinge and the ball joint for the shoulder, the bicep swivel, the double joint to the elbows. He's got the same wrists. Torso swivel from side to side. He's got the nice sash here that this is kind of the fusion outfit where you have the vest and the baggy pants and the sash. You can kind of pull the legs down again to get the high kicks. It looks a little weird, you know, but when you can kind of push these back into place, then it looks good again. Now, like I said, his knees are a little bit more fluid. They work a little bit better for whatever reason. It kind of fits together better, in my opinion. It moves a little bit more fluid. And then he's got the same ankle joints as the wrist, just like Krillin. And then he's got this tail piece, which is just one solid piece that just spins around. So pretty much, I would assume you'd either have it like that, or like this, or like that. It's almost a little too loose. I don't know. I appreciate them making it articulated, but it's such a minor articulation point that I almost wish it didn't move, because now it just kind of droops. I don't know. But overall, he's a good-looking figure. Really, really looks good. Really nice detail. I love the head sculpt and the hair. Probably my favorite part. But yeah, overall, he looks really good. Again, just comes with an open set of hands. No specified or specific accessories. Just kind of your generic open hand set. So there is that. But now let's move on to the best of the three, and it's probably just my own personal bias, but Super Saiyan Gohan. Absolutely love the look of this guy. It's hard to put these two-dimensional hair drawings into 3 dimensions, but I think they've done a pretty excellent job here. Head sculpt looks great. The eyes look great. The hair looks good. All in all, I think they did a pretty excellent job. The cape looks nice. And the nice thing about this is it's very easy to just pop the head off, and you can take the cape off. So then you can pop the head right back on. So when he's getting ready to fight Cell, he takes the cape off, and then you're good to go. Now, they did do a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan way earlier in the series, I feel like, way earlier in this line. And I think it's pretty similar. Unfortunately, I don't have it handy, but I would assume that the base body is pretty similar, just with the Super Saiyan 2 head. But I just love this. I think it's nice that you can take the cape off. Now, the cape does make him a little back heavy, so he tends to want to fall backwards. So you just kind of have to put him in a pose that distributes the weight evenly. But he looks good. He's got all the same articulation. You know, the joints and everything are exactly the same. He's got the same baggy pants. But again, I feel like his knees are pretty fluid, so I didn't really have any problems there. Ankles are the same as the wrists. You got the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. Yeah, I mean, really all three of these figures have the exact same articulation. But yeah, he looks good. I really, really like the head sculpt. The hair looks really, really good. And I love the fact that you can easily pop the head off so you can take the cape on and off, because I really like both looks. I think I prefer it with the cape because I just think he looks so cool with the cape. But I love that it's so easy to just take that off. So you can, whichever look you prefer, you can have. So he's definitely my favorite out of the three. I would say Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is probably a very close second. And not that there's anything wrong with Krillin. He's just, you know, a little bit more bland when compared to the other two. Sorry, Krillin, no offense. I will say, like I said, it's a little difficult getting him to want to stand. You almost kind of have to have him hunch over with the cape, which is a bit of a bummer. If you have some kind of stand or something, well, they don't even have holes in the bottom of their feet. I thought maybe I could peg him into something, but apparently not, which is surprising. So yeah, he's giving me some trouble standing. I had this earlier. I'm not sure why he doesn't want to stand now. What do you think, Gohan? Maybe if I pull the arms forward. Like I said, it is unfortunate that the cape makes him so back heavy, because it's a great look, but he doesn't want to stand because of it. Oh well. There we go. Finally got him to stand again. They're good figures. It's just the fact that that cape makes him a little back heavy, so he kind of wants to fall back. It's all about just finding the right pose to distribute the weight evenly. But he really looks sharp. I really like the Gohan. Like I said, for me personally, it is my favorite version of the character, so I just love this figure with that Super Saiyan hair and the cape. The Piccolo outfit, I think, looks really, really cool. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, very close second for me. Looks really, really good. The head sculpt, the hair, I think they really nailed. And there's nothing wrong with Krillin. Like I said, he's just kind of the least exciting of the three. But they're good figures. I do wish that they came with a little bit more character-specific accessories. Maybe some kind of energy blast specific to the character, like the Destructo Disc for Krillin or something like that. It just kind of feels like as this line has progressed, they've gotten cheaper and cheaper with what they give you. I mean, you know, the first waves you'd get the character, extra set of hands, a Build-A-Figure piece, maybe something else. And now, because they've kind of done away with the Build-A-Figures, they're just, here's the figure, here's a set of hands, and that's it. You know, it's not, the quality of the figures hasn't gone down, which is good, and they do have decent paint applications and things like that. It just feels like they could be doing a little bit more for the price. But I understand, you know, if you want the fully decked out character with all the accessories and blast effects and all that stuff, that's what Figuarts are for. And these things are 2 to 3 times less than Figuarts, so it's kind of a trade-off. I get it. But I feel like they could be giving you a little bit more for what it costs. Like I said, they're about $20 a piece, but I feel like if you hunt around, you can probably find them a little bit cheaper, maybe Amazon, something like that, or wait for a sale. But yeah, they're good figures. I do like them. I think that, you know, Bandai is still kind of keeping this line fairly consistent, cutting corners, you know, where they can. But for the most part, the figures haven't gotten any cheaper in quality, which I appreciate. You know, they still hold up pretty well. good articulation, good paint applications, not really loose or floppy joints, which I appreciate for the most part. Like I said, Krillin's knees are a little weird, but it's not a deal breaker by any means. So I think they're still pretty good. This is a pretty solid wave. Like I said, the characters in this wave are pretty fantastic, and Gohan definitely my favorite. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Which one of these three is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.